civilmedia.mk. Slobodno, nezavisno, otvoreno.
Behind on the screen, you see this media dialogue symbol or logo. I am working since 2015. It was the year after the Maidan protests and after the so-called, real Ukrainian revolution, supported by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Germany. And our project means putting together universities, journalist organizations, on the national level, artists to think about the topics you also have on the in the Balkan region, the whole problems with Russia propaganda, with fake news and destabilization of democratic societies. And I think it's not only a problem in the Balkan region, is a problem in whole Europe with different on different stages, let it say in this way. I want to start with a short report about the situation in Germany. We also have in Germany Russian propaganda. We have Russia Today, this TV station I think you know well, and this one and the so-called news, a lot of news of them are connected to the right-wing populists, the whole complex of Corona opponents, that's the core of an anti-democratic movement, to the right-wing populists supporting Putin at Moscow and so on. And so we have also a lot of let's say real fights in the audience and the public with fake news and propaganda, especially the Russian propaganda. But it's only a small minority, what we have in Germany, about 10% at the election, what this right-wing populists and the anti-democrats are getting on votes on the federal level. In the European Union, we have several problems too. We have the right-wing populists and nationalists in Hungary. We have them in Poland and Slovenia too. And it shows that, and we have the Croatian nationally, the nationalist forces, which are, and they all work together also in a network in Europe to fight against this democratic structure of the European Union. So, and in between is the Balkan problematic. And this was also the point where I have contact and information exchange with Mr. Darella since several years, comparable with the situation in the Eastern Partnership countries. I said that I started 2015 in Ukraine. And meanwhile, we are working with Georgia, with Armenia, with Moldova, and especially Belarus, and everywhere the same problems appear in a very dangerous form. Frozen conflicts on the one side, in the Ukraine, the open war, but the destabilization of society is on a very, very high level. But the destabilization is also in Georgia visible. The politics of Russia in Armenia after the war and after the attack of the Turkish and Azerbaijani forces in the Karabakh war some month ago gave Russia the chance to send troops to this region again. We have the frozen conflict in Moldova, with Transnistria, the occupied territories in Georgia, and it's all combined with Russian propaganda and media influence in this former Soviet republics. And I think one of the main point is when we have a look at the whole Europe landscape, that the idea to rebuild the old empires. The one empire is the Soviet Union, to rebuild it, and with all zones of influence from Russia's side. This is one of the problems we have, and one of the reasons we are talking about hate speech, disinformation, and hybrid war attacks. And on the other side, we have also the Turkish thinking of to rebuild the old Osmanian empire. This is one of the reasons of the Karabakh war so I believe, and I'm sure that that is right. When we talk about based on these issues, we have also, I think, a very positive thing that we have a lot of supporters of democracy, human rights, and so on in Europe, in the former Soviet republics, and on the Balkan too. Democracy, we have all to fight for democracy every day. And we have supporters, and this is, I think, the big difference to the Cold War, times. And we have to use our forces against this Russia propaganda, our media, to tell about the backgrounds of the kleptocratic regimes, which are not ideological based. In my view, they only want to get money and to make their influence bigger, to get even more money and more power. And like you see in Belarus, this is a dictatorship, unbelievable in the 20th century. Nobody has believed that could be possible, that all journalists, which are independent, are in jail or in the countries of Western Europe and Eastern Europe. The head of the Belarus journalist organization, Andrei Bastunets, a good friend of mine and member of Media Dialogue, is at the moment in Georgia, his deputy in Ukraine. So and we have journalists under pressure in the whole Balkan area too. It's the same base, and we have the same front lines where we have to fight. And we have to fight for peace too. I think also this is very dangerous for peace in Europe. We have this open door in Ukraine. We have this frozen conflicts and war situation in Armenia and Azerbaijan. And we have a very, very critical situation, in my view. You know it, I think, much better than I, in the whole Balkan region. So that our task is to inform the audience about the background, the networks of populism, the networking of the Russian propaganda system, and to tension ourselves against this powers. And we have to make it open to the media system, to report about it. And we have to work together. We have to work together between the EU and the Balkan countries, which are waiting to become member or on the door at the EU. And we have also to work together with the democratic societies, or the building of democratic societies in the countries of Eastern Partnerships and the former Soviet republics. We must build a really and a power against this propaganda and the kleptocrats and new dictators in Europe.
civilmedia.mk. Slobodno, nezavisno, otvoreno.